How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. We got the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport here. We're going to be changing the tie rod on the passenger side, and that's going to be the same for the driver or the passenger side. We're going to bring you along and show you how to do it. Let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is get the car jacked up, get this tire off the ground, and get it secured with a jack stand. Now that we got it on a jack stand, we can go ahead and take our tire off. So this, I'll be using an impact, a 21 millimeter, but you don't have to use an impact. If you got a good ratchet, good heavy 1/2 inch ratchet, you should be able to get these out. Or if you look in your car or your truck, you should be able to find your wrench, your lug wrench in there. Okay, this is the tie rod that we're going to be changing out, and it's probably best if you have your tire on to see how loose this is. If you just grab your tire and go back and forth with it, you see it move. Now I'll move this one, so this one's actually really bad, so I could do it from here. You can see how loose that is. That's moving inside that socket. So what we got to do is we need to break this loose and get this tie rod down out of here, but we're going to clean all this up really good first before we take it apart. We're going to try to use a wire brush. We want to clean them threads because we do got to get this bolt off, and then we have to break this one too loose, so we want to clean this up really good. Alright, now that we got that cleaned up, we have our new CarQuest tie rod here. And it also comes with the bolts that you're going to need to put this thing together. You've got one bolt that'll go on the top up here. And this bolt will go on this side over here when you put it onto your tie rod shaft there. So we're going to use a little bit of Corolla on this. And we're going to let this soak a little bit. Just to kind of get down in there, seep down in there and loosen them up, because this is going to be a tough one here. I don't think these are probably all the original tie rods on here. For this top bolt on here, you're going to need a 17 millimeter and a breaker bar. I'm not sure how hard these are going to be to get off, but that one was actually pretty easy. But we did wire brush it real good, so we want to work those threads a little bit. And then we have the, I don't have the metric wrenches for this, but we got a couple standard ones. We got a 13/16 and a 7/8. They're going to work, I think, to break this guy loose. They fit on here pretty decent. So hopefully we can break this one here loose with the wrenches, which I'm not sure if we can or not, but we'll give it a try. Let me move you guys out of the way. I think we got it. I do think we got it. Get my light situated here again. Okay, so we got it broke loose. Normally when you change this tie rod, you would have to get your car realigned. If you take a tape measure, and I'm going to measure from that rubber up there down to that tie rod, right where it starts. And mine is 7 13/16. From this piece of rubber down to the tip of this. You want to make sure that the distance on your tie rod is the same as that tie rod right there. You want to make sure both of your tie rods are exactly the same length. And mine are both exactly the same length. So if we measure from that rubber down to where that starts, we should be able to get this back on exactly where it was, at least ways close enough to where we can get it and get it realigned. Now that we have that broke loose, we're going to go ahead and take this bolt out. Oh, it broke loose right at the end. That's what I didn't want it to do, break loose, and it did. What I could do is I could take a jack, a floor jack, and stick it underneath of the ball joint. So what we'll do is we'll take the jack and we'll jack it up underneath there just to hold that up. That shouldn't spin now. Oh no, it's still spinning. There it goes. Get a little bit of pressure on there. That'll hold it up tight enough we can finish unscrewing it. Alright, we got our bolt out. That's a good thing. Now we'll let our jack back down, and that thing should come out there fairly easy. Probably just take the wrench we used and we'll tap, and it's out. So now we'll just take this and we're gonna get my wrench on there. We're gonna spin this guy off. Alright, there's our old tie rod. Look at that thing. It's definitely worn out. What I'm going to do now is we're going to clean up these threads on this. Getting a little rust up in there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to spin our new tie rod on the shaft here. Now we're going to slide our tie rod up in its slot here. And go ahead and stick your nut on there. Make sure you get your bolts nice and tight. So you want to torque your bolt here on your tie rod about 18 pounds. And we're well in that range. Alright, under further inspection here, we noticed that this tie rod over here, the boot is ripped. It's not real loose, but it's not going to be long before this one comes loose. So we went ahead and picked up another one. And we're going to go ahead and change this tie rod out also. It just makes sense to go ahead and change them both now while we're in here working on it. And we also changed the brakes on it. You know, they weren't real bad, but we're not waiting for things to go bad. We want to get them before they go bad. So, yeah, we're going to get that tie rod done next, and we'll be done with this thing. Now you want to torque your tie rod bolt down. What I'm going to suggest is to Google that and see what you come up with, because a lot of people are telling me different, and I torque these ones at 32 pounds. So I'm not sure if I'm correct on that or not. That's changing the tie rod on your 2018 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. So I would like to tell everyone, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.